A doubleheader weekend comes to its conclusion here in Lime Rock with the Moonshine Car Polish 180. Let's just jump right into it, as Becky Pellerin has swept the top position in the grid this weekend, the first time this happens in this nascent double and triple header system. Thomas Tucker puts the 9 car up there, showing his road course performances at Road America last year and this year have not been flukes at all, and there's no reason to believe they will need to be doubted any longer. Joey Anderson, the IndyCar driver, has gotten a fantastic third place start for the 03 car, showing Zach Stack does have a car. The problem had been the drivers, while Mac Henley does close the top 4. Championship leader Luke Pellerin nails the last point Spain position in qualifying, while Lucy Martin continues to out-qualify everyone in the average. Only once this season she has failed to start inside the top 10. This is the 12th time this year she begins a race in the first 3 rows. Her teammate, Sten Gustafsson, road course specialist for Nelson Racing, starts his race in 7th place. Charlie Faulkner, high off his second win of the year 2 days ago, closes the top 8. Warren Majeski is the main name that will pop out for you in this did not qualify list. He simply did not have a good enough road course performance the one time he found himself outside the bubble. And that is disastrous. There's quite a few of his direct competitors in the Owners' Championship who could do well here today, namely Anderson, and make every single qualifying session for him much more pressure-filled as you look at the rest of the list. This is going to be a 75-lap race, only 180 kilometers, but the fact that this is in a road course means there's a lot of jostling and jockeying to be done on track. Do not fool yourself. While the numbers in the fuel window say 32 to 36 laps, the chances for fuel saving are ripe if we at least get a couple of yellows. However, tires are still a very large concern. Ashley Richardson lost this race last year due to having old tires in a green-white checkered. She fell from 1st to 4th and lost her chance at a win. You do not want to get caught with your pants down at the end of the long run, and that's something all teams are considering and are very afraid of. Of course, the Lime Rock, 1.5 miles, 6 right-hand corners, 1 left-hander, coupled with 200 feet of elevation changes, especially by the uphill turn, back straight, west bend, and diving turn, the last part of the complex that feeds into the 2,000 feet long front straight. With a cloudy but warm 78-degree weather, as we mentioned, tires will come into the equation, but the heat and possible exhaustion inside the car have to be considered as well. Let's get this show on the road. Literally. You are watching the pace car take the field through the bridge as we are coming to the final corner before the start of the race here in Lime Rock. Becky Pellerin swept the pole position in both races. She is in a fantastic position to win at least one of them. Let's see what happens, because the green flag is out and the race is on here in Lime Rock. Joey Anderson starting in third, a great qualifying effort with Mac Henley and Luke Pellerin closing the top 5. The Pellerins, once again, a very good performance on a road course qualifying session, as you have a 3 wide already. Thomas Tucker, Luke Pellerin, Joey Anderson stuck in the middle, and Pellerin deep on the inside. He dives in, already making moves early, and he's already trying to go for second place side by side with Thomas Tucker. Whoa! They get loose on the exit as they're coming up the hill, and Becky Pellerin leads. Thomas Tucker second. Joey Anderson gets to resist and keep third. Luke Pellerin going to the inside of the 18th. We have contact in the back, the 2 Overton Racing teammates. They get together, Chris Endicott and Scott Overton, and the caught hits the wall hard. Allison Smith and Kendra Brittany also get involved. A big melee early, while Becky Pellerin already opens lap number 3, and she's already off with a big gap to Thomas Tucker. This could be a situation just like Road America, where she led from flag to flag. However, that's very much not a possibility, even if we go green all the way, because of the pit cycle. While Ben Makowski has a tire going down, he was involved in that contact too alongside Endicott and Allison Smith, but he has a tire down early, while Eric Dyson running in 12th place chasing down Brett Finley. He goes off in that wet grass into the tire barrier. And that is the first caution of the race. And as you see, Makowski lost a lap to the tire, but he recovers it. As you see, he didn't even make contact with Brett Finley. He just lost it, went to the outside of the track, and at that wet grass, that was all she wrote. As we have the yellow flag currently on lap number 5, you see only Stan Gustafsson among the leaders pits. He's gonna try to do an undercut. Kirk Jones also takes the opportunity to pit, and I believe that is it for the rest of the field. As you see everyone lining up for the caution. Rafaela Molina in the 96 decides to pit as well, and that's pretty much it for the field. Allison Smith had already pitted. We removed the 8 from the tire barrier, and the green flag flies when we come to open lap number 8. The field single file. Becky Pellerin hanging on in the back of the field on the restart. Craig McLean blows up. They're gonna help pushing that car into the pit entrance as he was very near the pit entry. So we only have a local caution. Becky Pellerin leads away. As you see the lush green forest here in Lakeville, Connecticut, a very beautiful racetrack here in Lime Rock. Lucy Barton currently running in the 6th position, having a very good start. Lexi Percy, 7th place, another very big surprise inside the top 10. Charlie Faulkner running very strongly there, having a very solid run inside the top 10. Caitlin Richler trying to work her way forward, just did not have a good qualifying at all, as she's now 31st place, going for 30th place under Kendra Brittany. By the time we get to 10 laps in, you see Becky Pellerin opening the gap once again to Thomas Tucker and Joey Anderson. Luke Pellerin, Mac Henley, Lucy Martin, Lexi Percy, Charlie Faulkner, Hibiki Murata having a good run, and Brett Finley closing the top 10. You see there the 43 got a little loose coming into the turn, coming downhill. A little bit of trouble. Hibiki Murata running in 9th place. A very solid start. I mentioned it, very solid start. She has had a lot of difficulty in her sophomore season. Hopefully, this is a sign of things that can come from the Japanese driver who finished very well last year. Joey Anderson now finding himself in a battle with Luke Pellerin for the 3rd spot. Mac Haley catching them back up. This is going to be very interesting. Rafaela Molina pitted, and that car has problems. That car is not up to par. She's in 30th place. Very slow. Not slow enough to be disqualified, but very slow indeed. Brett Finley, Eddie Murata, and Corbin Nipsey and Ryan Faulkner are now stuck in a bit of a battle, in a bit of a bother for the 9th position, as Thomas Tucker finally starts catching Becky Pellerin by the time we get to lap 16. So Becky Pellerin either pushed too much or Thomas Tucker wasn't pushing enough. But now we look to have the start of a battle for the lead. And as you see there, Stan Gustafsson battling with Kevin Daly on the 83. And Gustafsson, big dive on the inside. Of course, Gustafsson started in the back because of his stop in the first caution. So him working his way forward is very important. He needs to gain more and more. As we're going to take a second look at that. Oh, I missed that. A little tap from Gustafsson to the side of the 83. A little bit of damage on that side panel. So Gustafsson's taking no prisoners. He's taking no prisoners early. And that's gonna be a lot of damage, way more damage than the 83 can work with. He's gonna go to the pits, and the 83 is gonna have to fix that damage. But that's gonna be an opportunity for Kendra Brittany and the 26 to go into the pits as well. And that's gonna be a very interesting dynamic. We're having a bit of an undercut. On lap 21, Tammy Bartons, the first of the leaders to pit from the 13th position. Right behind her there, Ashley Richardson pits as well. Stan Gustafsson's gonna go for a double undercut. He's gonna undercut himself. And then on lap 22, the leader, Becky Pellerin, comes in. That's a very interesting choice by Stan Gustafsson. He could have stayed out. Joey Anderson comes in as well. Charlie Faulkner in. Hibiki Murata picks in. And those four are inside the top 10. Brett Finley in the top 10 as well. He's also in. Very interesting that we are having these stops very early. As Tammy Barton comes out, she comes out a lap down behind the 88 and the 18. And they're side by side. This could be a problem. Cold tires. Watch the exit. Side by side, they keep it steady. And then the leader, Thomas Tucker, in on lap number 23. As you see, Rafaela Molina pits once again. So very interesting that the people that already pitted on the first caution choose to pit again. And they're essentially going to undercut themselves in this. And they're going to guarantee they stay in the positions they are already at. As you see, Luke Pellerin, Lexi Percy, Lucy Barton, Mac Henley, Corbin Dempsey, Ryan Faulkner come in, and we're gonna follow Becky Pellerin. When she came in, she dropped all the way back. Let's see what happens, because she's gonna round out the final corner. As you see there, Ami Tachibana, we haven't talked a lot about her. Vernon Hargrove, we haven't talked a lot about him as well. Boyd Abbott, currently running in the 20th position. He jumps a bunch of spots because he does not pit. And Becky Pellerin will undercut Thomas Tucker. She's going to be right ahead of him. And she's about to pass the 99. She has newer tires, of course. And the 99 has 20 lap old tires. She's going to try to do it on the jump. Not enough. Maybe not. She does not make the pass. She's going to wait once again. But then the 99 is going to elect the pit. And that's going to be a moot attempt to pass. So Becky Pellerin is back in the lead. Boyd Abbott does not get the lead a lap. Chris Endicott decides to stay out. He pitted earlier on because of the damage. So he's gaining a lot of spots. He's now in 3rd place, but he's going to have to pit later on. You see Kendra Brittany there passing the 63. She's a lap down still. Joey Anderson's going to come out. He's going to stay in the 3rd spot. Charlie Faulkner is going to jump to 5th in all of this. And Luke Pellerin is going to be 4th, and he's going to lose 4th place to Charlie Faulkner. And Lexi Percy is going to pass Luke Pellerin for the 5th position. Hibiki Murata looking to gain the 6th position as well. Things are going badly as Chris Endicott is still on track, about to go to the pits for his own scheduled pit stop. Allison Smith about to be the first car lapped under green flag conditions on track. Of course, the cars that were lapped were all lapped they were all lapped under green flag. So there is, and there goes, Becky Pellerin laps the 200. 200 is in 32nd. Ashley Richardson was unable to actually move either forward or behind. She's still stuck in the top 15 without gaining a lot of time. Rafaela Molina on the undercut, however, I believe she is not in the lead lap. While Mac Henley has a massive drop, he finds himself in the 16th position. A shame. They lost a lot of time. While Stan Gustafson now has worked his way all the way up to 17th, a solid run. Chris Endicott, as his car was getting more and more slower due to the older tires, found himself down to the 15th spot, and he finally pits on lap number 30. He could not hold out for longer. While battle for 3rd place, Charlie Faulkner to the inside of the 03. They have a gaggle of lap cars to deal with. I see there the 96, I see the 200, the 16, the 34 of Megan McDonald, and the 32 of Kirk Jones. Uncharacteristically bad run for Megan McDonald on a car that is good, and she's a good road course driver. Just a shame overall. Corbin Dempsey currently running in 10th place, hanging on about to lap the 26 of Kendra Brittany. Having a very solid run, the 2015 champion. He's currently 2nd in the championship, but the way the things are right now, he is not making a dent on Luke Pellerin's championship lead. As you see, Becky Pellerin about to lap the number 2 of Caitlin Richler. She has Vernon Hargrove padding the gap between her and Thomas Tucker, which is a very good thing for the driver of the 27, but eventually Tucker's going to be able to manage through the 28, and he's going to have the 27 all for himself, because Caitlin Richler is not giving Becky Pellerin a good time. These two are friends ever since they came around. They came around to the Challenge Series around the same time, and they've been very friendly towards each other, but on the track, these two have a rivalry that you cannot ignore. They do not give each other any space, which is funny considering how friendly they are off track. Always talking, always hanging about. Charlie Faulkner currently running in 3rd place. Papa Faulkner looking to gain even more points after winning the race in Waterbury Park. He finds himself in 5th in the championship. He can gain more. Marcy Crawford currently running in 22nd. Not a good run compared to how well she did a couple of days ago. She finished 9th place. Could have been better. Riley McKee, also a driver that had a very good run at Waterbury, finished in 7th place, currently running in 18th. Fortunate, but that's how things go sometimes. Boyd Abbott has worked his way up to 26th after pitting, after trying to overcut the field. That definitely did not work. He probably depended on a caution. And as you see, he fell a lap down as we are coming to open lap 36. 40 laps remain here in Lime Rock. Thomas Tucker lapping Peter Johnson. He's doing his best to keep Becky Pellerin on the visual, but he's just unable to gain the time he needs to gain, which is a shame. Joey Anderson has lost a lot of ground to the 85 of Charlie Faulkner, and now Lexi Percy has her sights on him. Bump! Lexi Percy gives a bump to Joey Anderson as he slows down for the 34 Omega McDonald. I don't think that was intentional, but that could have ended much worse, especially on the corner they were working on. They were coming in to the west bend. That could have ended much worse as they come around to the big bend. This time around, Percy's going to try to have a move on the inside as Anderson's having a hard time lapping the 34 Omega McDonald, and that hard time is going to continue for so long. They're both going to elect the pit as we come to close lap 41 of 75. 34 laps at the stripe for them. They're going to go for an undercut. That's going to be an interesting strategy. Thomas Tucker in as well. Massive undercut attempt from Tucker. He tried to overcut Becky Pellerin, was unable to. Now he's going to reverse the strategy. And now Ryan Faulkner in as well on lap number 42. Is that going to be a good idea? Let's see. Corbin Dempsey comes in. Becky Pellerin still out there. Riley McKee, Lee Schmidt come in as well, looking to gain positions. And then we're going to have lap 43. And then on lap 44, Becky Pellerin elects to pit. She pits together with the 19 of Jenny Irvin. You see there, Ethan Collins also pitted on lap number 43. And there you see Tammy Martin. She's going to be the driver that finds herself out behind the 27. She elects to pit as well. They have trouble there on the entry. Let's watch the onboard of Ashley Richardson because the 97 slowed down so much they made contact. That could have ended much worse, but how it ended, it's not good either. And as we round out lap 45, Charlie Faulkner stayed out. He finally comes in. Luke Pellerin's gonna cycle around him. Scott Overton running up there. Hibiki Murata also going for the overcut. And we're seeing these pit cycles around 20 laps because of the tires, not even because of the fuel, which has been changing the dynamic of the race. Brad Finley on the pits as well. Thomas Tucker is gonna cycle around. Oh! They cycle around even. They cycle even. The undercut put Thomas Tucker in a perfect position to pass Becky Pellerin in the middle of the 3 wide with Stan Gustafsson. And we got a new race leader, Thomas Tucker, in first place. Becky Pellerin chasing him now, trying to make something happen. Let's see what happens now. 30 laps to go when they hit the stripe. And Tammy Barton up in smoke from 22nd place right out of the pits, slowing down. There goes Ashley Richardson. Slowing down, problems for the 97. The rookie challenge leader could not have had a worse circumstance. Back Haley to the pits. He hasn't pitted yet. Luke Pellerin hasn't pitted yet. He stays in the lead, but he's gonna have to pit later on. He's hanging on with the tires he got. He's opening as much of a lead as he can. Lucy Barton pits as well as they come to lap 47. So when I say Thomas Tucker undercut the lead, it's because this is what happens when we come to lap 48. Luke Pellerin's gonna come in. He's gonna have a cycle, and we're gonna watch and see where they come out. So Pellerin's still changing the right side tires. You see there Ashley Jolly coming out. Thomas Tucker, then you see Marcy Crawford, then Becky Pellerin, right side tires for Luke Pellerin. Then you see Boyd Abbott right there, Peter Johnson, Joey Anderson's gonna get 3rd place back, and Charlie Faulkner 4th, Lexi Percy 5th, and there is the 88 right there in 6th. Thomas Tucker now stuck behind the 96 and the 63. He's gonna get the lead this time around when he hit the stripe. He tags the 63. Oh no! Oh no! Thomas Tucker, my boy, what have you done? Oh my lord! Thomas Tucker had the knife, the plate of cheese right in front of him, and he just threw the knife away and sat on the cheese. Oh no! This couldn't have been a worse miscalculation off the lead when he was about to pass the 63 on the bend. And this is gonna put Becky Pellerin in the 1st position as she's about to lap the 46 of Marcy Crawford, put the 77 of Ruby Carson there. This is gonna put Joey Anderson in the second position, Charlie Faulkner third, Lexi Percy fourth. This is surreal. Thomas Tucker has just thrown it out. Thomas Tucker has just thrown it out. Becky Pellerin about to lap the 46 of Marcy Crawford, the 79 of Ashley Jolly right in front of them as they come out of the Big Bend. Contact between Ashley Jolly and Marcy Crawford. Both are on the wall. Big hit. Caution is out. And things are unraveling quick here in Lime Rock. Let's go on board with Becky Pellerin as she's following those two. And Marcy Crawford just racing deal, tagged the rear of the 79. They were just together really closely. And that's going to be an unfortunate end of the day for the 79 Loves Stops Chrysler 200. She was running in 20th place. Marcy Crawford was trying to break into the top 20, and the unfortunate run for the 46 comes to a screeching halt. You're right on board with Ashley Jolly now, and there was just nothing she could have done. She was just an unwilling passenger in this mess. And as you see, the pace car picking up the field, you're gonna see the amount of cars that are actually gonna need to pass the pace car because how the field spread out. And I really like the paint scheme on that pace car. That's the Ford pace car, the pace car that Ford's bringing up for these weekends. Very interesting looking one. I'm personally a big lover of how this looks as the field slowly sorting itself out. A few drivers are gonna have to wave around still. Some drivers have yet to catch. As you see there, Rafaela Molina needed to pass Ashley Richardson so they could both pass the pace car. There goes Molina, there goes Richardson. Now the field is set. And you see there, Becky Pellerin doesn't pit. Joey Anderson, second place, doesn't pit. Chris Endicott back there pits. Very interesting that Chris Endicott's the one taker there, but it's mostly because of the damage. Thomas Tucker also pit because of the damage, but he pitted when the race was green. And you see there, Ruby Carson, as the graphic was showing, will be back on the lead lap. They're gonna try to stay on these tanks until the finish. They have fuel to finish. The problem is going to be the tires, but if nobody pits, then everyone stays even on tires. That's the point I was trying to get on the pit stops. That's going to leave Becky Pellerin, Joey Anderson, Charlie Faulkner, Lexi Percy, and Luke Pellerin running in the top 5. Ryan Faulkner up there as well. Ryan Faulkner seeking to gain more points on the championship leader, Luke Pellerin, and on second place, Corbin Dempsey. Hibiki Murata having a fantastic run there in 7th place. Punching way above her weight. Lucy Martin also trying to gain points on Luke Pellerin, but they both need to pass the 98 to make it happen. Riley McKee there running 13th place, working his way forward slowly but surely, and he's now in the battle, in the wars. Mac Henley, after a poor pit stop, finally worked his way forward to 12th place, but he's still far away from what he needs. We're gonna have to see what happens, because the way things are going, they might be able to make it to the finish on this tank, but it's not a guarantee. But if one can't make it, the rest can't make it either. So the pace car's off. The field's in control of Becky Pellerin. Let's see what happens. This is about to get very interesting. Green flags out. Joey Anderson already tries to have a look. Not enough. Not enough, buddy. Becky Pellerin started way better than you, friend. As they come around the Big Bend, 27:03.85. That's the top 3. Faulkner's gonna have a look on the outside. Don't try the outside, buddy. That's dangerous. That's very dangerous. And you're good, but you are not gonna be good enough to pass Henderson there. And there goes. Now that happens on the inside. That's more like it. Charlie Faulkner to second place, trying to rally his way to the lead of the championship. Ruby Carson into the back of Ronnie Samples. When they were all flowing into turn number 1, they make contact, big contact. Ruby Carson sends the 27 drifting, but they get it back together. They're back on pace. Becky Pellerin leading away. Charlie Faulkner running in second place. Joey Anderson running in third place on the Zactec Pontiac. Hibiki Murata running in the 5th position. Lexi Percy right behind them. And then right behind Hibiki Murata and right behind Lexi Percy, Lucy Martin. So 3 women that know their way around road courses very much. Mac Haley passed Brett Finley for the 11th position. He's setting up his sights on the championship 2nd place. Corbin Dempsey, because Haley needs to make up a deficit of almost 300 points in the championship, but someone who is trying to build a deficit to the other drivers is Luke Pellerin, the championship leader, to the inside of the IndyCar driver, and Joey Anderson's not even going to be able to put up a fight on the big bend as we reach 21 laps to go, and there goes Luke Pellerin. Ethan Collins, we haven't talked a lot about him. He finds himself in 31st place, so the race for New England Technologies has been hard, because right behind him there in 33rd is Kendra Brittany, and it's just a bad day. They went from heaven in Waterbury to absolute hell here in Lime Rock. Charlie Faulkner trying to chase down Beck Pellerin, but he's being chastened down by Luke Pellerin. Ryan Faulkner has fallen to 8th place. Thomas Tucker, despite the damage, despite the contact that took him out of the lead, he's still running inside the top 10. Having a look on the inside, is that going to be enough? Nope, not yet. He's going to try the big bend. Not going to happen on the big bend. Kristen Young running in 18th place, a solid run. Kevin Daly there, despite pitting for damage, he pitted along the general pit stop timing, so he didn't actually lose a lap, and he's running 17th. Boyd Abbott trying to gain more positions. Contact there. Let's see what happened there, because Brad Philly running in 12th with Riley McKee there. Oh, bump and run. Bump and run. Riley McKee putting the bumper to good use, but a little too good of a news. Brad Finley in the tire barrier. He slows down to a crawl as we're gonna ride with Riley McKee as they come. And that's not what you want to do. Especially coming to the uphill, that's not what you want to do. But he gained the position. They keep it going. No yellow. Ashley Richardson was in contention to win this race last year. Ended up failing due to a very unfortunate green-white checkered, and she had to settle for 4th place. Today, she's running 15th. Charlie Faulkner running in 2nd place still, and now he's starting to lose more time to Becky Pellerin, and now Luke Pellerin is catching, and he's catching quick. As you see there, by the time we are reaching lap number 58, look at how they spread out in relation to the 03 and the 52. Lexi Percy's trying to gain time to Hibiki Murata, but she just hasn't been able to. Thomas Tucker has worked his way around Corbin Dempsey, and now we have the top 3 in a blanket and the rest of the field trying to catch up, and we're gonna have to see what happens. Kevin Daly currently running in 16th place, and he slows down, and he does not have enough fuel. So that means everybody's gonna have to pit, either for tires or for fuel, but regardless, no one's fast enough to finish. Becky Pellerin as we reach lap number 60 off 75. Charlie Faulkner catching, Luke Pellerin catching him. That's the battle for the win. That's the battle for the lead. As you see how Becky Pellerin has a lot of straight line speed, doing everything she can. And Joey Anderson pits from 4th place. Joey Anderson, Lexi Percy in from the 6th position, and they're gonna try to undercut the leaders. That's gonna be a bet, and they need this bet to work. Mac Henley battling with Corbin Dempsey. Stan Gustafson into the back of the 18, hanging on the rear of the 18, dumps the 18 into the wet grass, and Mac Henley's gonna try to get that car back going. He's gonna end up against the tire barrier, unable to get it going. That car is gonna stall on the big bend, and the caution is gonna come out when the 03 and 02 are on the pits. The 83 pitted's gonna get his lap back. Becky Pellerin is gonna keep the lead with 14 laps to go. 85 in 2nd, 88 in 3rd. As you see there, the 18 is still there. It's still stuck there. We're gonna need a caution. We really do need a caution. And that means Joey Anderson and Lexi Percy will get to stay on the lead lap. And that's monumental. Because look at that. Look at that. If Kevin Daly had to pit, everyone else has to pit. And now everyone among the leaders are pitting, either to fill the tank or to get new tires if they can, or if they have saved enough fuel. And you know what that means? Exactly. Joey Anderson and Lexi Percy for lack of a better term, got an assisted undercut. Becky Peller into the pits. Left side tires out. Left side tires. And you see there on the back, the 03 and the 02 back on the lead lap. Right side tires out. Right side tires in. They drop the car. The 27 is not going. Charlie Faulkner's out. The 27 has stalled. The 27 has stalled from the lead. Becky Pellerin has stalled from the first position. This is a disaster for the Canadian, for the defending series champion. She had this race almost on the, she had a grasp. Her fingers were on the cup, and she's gonna end up falling all the way back to the tail end of the lead lap together with Thomas Tucker, who actually took this pit stop as a chance to fix the rest of the damage he had, which was a lot. And we now have 11 laps to go. Joey Anderson's your new leader. Lexi Percy running in second. Everybody's good. Everybody's got new tires. However, Joey Anderson and Lexi Percy have 1 lap older tires. That's not a lot. But in moments like this, every percentage makes a difference. And Joey Anderson continues to lead. He opens the gap to the 02. The 02 gets a little bit loose on the exit off the S's coming to the Big Bend. And here comes how they're doing. Very interestingly, doing very well as the field spreads out far and wide. Becky Pellerin now from the first position. She drops all the way to 19th place. And she has a whole pack to deal with, including multiple lap cars. As you see Mac Hanley up ahead there. Caitlin Richler continues to not give her a good time. And Caitlin Richler passes her on the inside. Charlie Faulkner and Luke Pellerin battling for the 4th position. And Charlie Faulkner needs to finish ahead of Luke Pellerin if he wants to have a chance of winning this title. And here's the detail. Luke Pellerin did not put fuel in the car. We're hearing it now. He did not put fuel in the car. He's gonna save what he got. That might come to bother him later on. Jenny Irving finds herself in 9th place after the pit stops. A fantastic run for Irving, finding herself on the lead lap. Thomas Tucker 16th, up to 16th, about to pass the 58 of Ashley Richardson. Lucy Barrington right there. And I believe Charlie Faulkner, did Charlie Faulkner put fuel? He didn't. Oh, he's gonna save too. Okay, Charlie Faulkner also did not put fuel in. And you see that Ashley Richardson, Corbin Dempsey, and Lucy Barton in the battle. Kevin Daly, after recovering his lap, he finds himself in the 12th position. So despite it all, that undercut also worked for him. Scott Overton currently running in 28th place, not having a good time at all. Contact with the 32 of Kirk Jones. He goes around. Kristen Young hits. Then she gets hit by Kevin Daly. Massive hit. Stan Gustafson into the back on the 33. And Kendra Brittany gets involved as well. You see there the mess she got into. Becky Peller and tags the 32 a little bit. Kristen Young is going to get back going, take that car to the pits. But a massive hit by all of them. I'm surprised we didn't get a caution, but the officials seem to want to watch this play out. Becky Peller now has to go to the pits again for damage. The top 4 under a blanket right now. Lexi Percy, the British woman, trying to win her first NAAC race in her 2nd season as a part-timer. Joey Anderson is in his 7th series start. He took over this car after Jason Prescott failed to qualify twice during the triple weekend of Carbondale, Milwaukee, Road America. He took that car in extremely short notice, made it work in Road America, by the way. Had a very good run there. We knew he was going to get a good run there as an IndyCar driver. But another track that we expect him to have a solid run on are the dirt tracks and short tracks. He comes from the sprint car in Silver Crown ranks. But we expected Lexi Percy to have a good run. But I don't think 2nd place was in the cards, especially because of the caution. Lucy Barton has now been passed by the 9 of Thomas Tucker. She finds herself in 14th and unable to make any more headway as they come around to pass the 32. She's just not there at all. At all. Ruby Carson worked her way up to 9th place, having a very solid run, about to pass the 62 of Makowski. and the 28 of Hargrove, and the 81 of Corbin Dempsey right there with her. So the Shield cars closing the top 10, having a very solid run. Ronnie Samples in the 7, watching. There goes the 16. He's gonna spin off, get it back together, but he just spun off screen. Disastrous day for New England Automotive Technologies. They could not have had a worse afternoon. Hibiki Murata hanging on, battling with the 89 of Ryan Faulkner as she's unable to chase down Papa Faulkner. Riley McKee right behind them, having a very good run in 7th place as we are around 3 laps remaining. Lee Schmidt, Mega McDonald, the chaos has led her to actually get up to 16th place. With all of this considered, could have been a much better result, but for someone who was down in the 30s, 16th is a monumental recovery as she's together with Lee Schmidt, who's inside the top 10. And you see them coming downhill the diving turn near Lime Rock to the front straightaway. Luke Pellerin chasing down the 02, and unable to save enough fuel. Luke Pellerin to the pits with 2 laps to go. That is a disaster for the championship leader. He could not have timed this worse. But his luck is that there are so many lapped cars. There are so many damaged cars. The field's so spread out in his last few 10 laps. He's not gonna lose a lot of time. But watch this battle there. Papa Faulkner, Ryan Faulkner, Hibiki Murata battle for 3rd place, rounding out the west bend, coming down the diving turn. Riley McKee watching this battle intently, but in the business end of the field, why? Flag is in the air. Joey Anderson in the 03. You watch the 28 of Vernon Hargrove merge from the pits. He did not have enough fuel either. Joey Anderson, 7th career start, took over this car from Jason Prescott after he failed to qualify twice. Zach Kovac could not see that car fail to qualify any longer. He called Anderson in an extremely short notice. He also took over the 23 truck in the truck series. I don't recall if for the full season. He's having a series of good performances there, but neither of them have looked as good as this. He rounds out the diving turn, comes to the front straightaway, and in his 7th Challenge Series start, Joey Anderson is a Challenge Series race winner. He wins in Lime Rock. He steals it. After we were done in Waterbury, I mentioned how it was early to call if Joey Anderson taking over the 03 car would be enough to secure Zach Tech a provisional spot for the rest of the season, and he just shut my mouth. I'm gonna have to eat crow on this one. And his doubters are gonna have to eat crow as well, with a spectacular fuel and tire gamble that hinged on that last caution 60 laps in. He and Lexi Percy steal the top 2, do not look back. Charlie Faulkner settles for 3rd place. Hibiki Murata, fantastic 4th position, showing some of the better form she had last year. With the sophomore slump having hit the Japanese driver pretty hard so far, a result like this certainly helps the morale. Ryan Faulkner gains some 8 positions and gets a very important top 5 finish in his fight to recover the championship lead he held, the longest out of anyone this season. Riley McKee gets 6th, Lee Schmidt grabs a very solid result in 7th, Ruby Carson 8th, Thomas Tucker and Lucy Barton end up losing a couple of spots but still remain inside the top 10, while pole position Becky Pellerin, despite once again leading the most laps, drops all the way down to 21st place, a lap down. Disaster again strikes on the 27 car. While finishing behind most of his direct contenders is bad, Luke Pellerin hanging on to 14th secures at the very least he will remain in the championship lead. But by only 8 points over Ryan Faulkner and 19 over Papa Faulkner. Corbin Dempsey net lost a single point to Luke Pellerin, but that was enough in the grand scheme of things to find himself down 2 positions from 2nd to 4th, with Lucy Barton chasing him slowly but surely in 5th place. Thomas Tucker gains some 25 points over the older Pellerin, while series champion the younger Pellerin, just like in Waterbury, is able to coast on her bonus points to make up 6 points on her big brother. She's not gaining much, but every gain is a gain. Another driver that made some ground is Riley McKee, vaulting all the way to 9th place. The New York winner had some bouts of inconsistency after that win, but as the victory hangover subsides, he's in a position to make up a very important climb for the championship if things go his way. Once again, a new race winner throws the rookie challenge battle off. Joey Anderson with that victory jolts from a 23.7 to a 20.4 average, and he's now only 4 positions behind Tammy Barton. The reason being a disaster of a race for the younger Barton sister. Her 38th place finisher has caused the forest fire we mentioned previously, which is what she had to prevent. Now multiple drivers are within 6 positions or less from her. It's still her battle to lose, but the problems keep mounting. Below 30th position results were 1 until Ohio. She has had 3 since. She's starting to lose the grip of it. She needs to fight back. If Joey Anderson can use this momentum to mount a charge, things can be very precarious for Tamara Barton. Charlie Faulkner builds a little lead over Thomas Tucker after they entered this race tied in the Summer Series, but not a lot of change inside the top 5 in that. Aside from the fact that Tony Hart not starting has meant he drops from the top 10 completely, while Joey Anderson with his win nets a 16 position gain to become 8th place in this battle for $2 million. The win by Anderson also changes the face of the Owners' Championship. For the last couple of weeks, the 26 car was arguably as safe as could be, and now that is no longer the case. While CJK Racing was 70 points to the good, now they are in the bubble. This is how this point system can shift momentum, and that's a thing everyone has to be on notice as we head into the next race of the season, the second time we go up in the border, this time deep into Pellerin territory. We are going to Moncton, New Brunswick for the Colico 250 at the recently renovated Moncton Speedway, the shortest track we will have on offering in 2018. See you there.